Meetings. Love them or loathe them, they're an essential part of collaboration. While meetings can be a fantastic way to brainstorm ideas and share updates, they can also be long-winded and exhausting. But thanks to AI tools, meetings can become way less painful. Today, Miss Paws is going to try out two AI tools, Krisp and Otter.ai, to see if meetings will no longer be the bane of my existence. I'm going to first download Krisp. I'm going to create a free account. Now, what Krisp is really good at is cutting background noise, and that's what I want to specifically use it for. But let's select transcription, AI notes, recording, and noise cancellation. I generally work with Zoom, and while Krisp can handle a lot of different things, I usually only speak in English and Cat Latin, but that's not listed here, like Pig Latin, but with an extra meow added at the end. I'm going to download this for Mac. And once Krisp is installed, this nice user interface pops up. It asks us if we want to open the Krisp app. There's a bunch of permissions that you will need to give Krisp access to, so just make sure to do that. We're going to start a Zoom meeting and we're going to use the Krisp microphone. What's interesting is that unlike other AI tools, Krisp does not join as another user to the Zoom call. So you can see that it's just me in here. What I want to do is set the Zoom background noise removal to low, which is essential for Krisp to work properly. Krisp's microphone is virtual and is essentially software that processes the sounds that come from your microphone. The next thing I'm going to do is create a free Otter.ai account. With Otter.ai, you have to be careful when giving permissions. I read some threads on Reddit that Otter.ai starts joining on all meetings in your calendar and recording even if that's not the intention. And it's really hard to remove it, so if you're testing this out, don't use it with the school or work email address. And in fact, because of that, I'm going to set this to don't share notes, keep them private. If you want to share, I would recommend copying and pasting and sharing it separately. Then I'm going to select meetings where I'm the host, but honestly, you can also select meetings I manually select. And there's all these other questions when you're first setting up. Okay, so now let's start a new Zoom meeting. This Zoom meeting is for the annual Feline Convention that I was invited to as a guest speaker. And I'm going to put the meeting link in Otter.ai, again, not messing with my calendar because I don't want it to take over my life completely. And you can see, unlike Krisp, it joins the Zoom meeting as a separate user. So I gave my speech, which was all about how cats need to be viewed as gods again, like we used to in ancient Egypt. By the way, if you're interested in my speech, let me know in the comments. I'll post another video on it. As soon as I end the meeting, Krisp app pops up with the transcription. I see some issues, like my name is spelled wrong, but it's pretty good overall. Then I try out the AI chat. You can see the different options: summarize by speakers, write a follow-up email, create the next meeting agenda, and list Q&A. I'm going to try summarize by speaker. It gives me a great summary of what I talked about. And I can chat with the chatbot, so I ask it, what cats can specifically do to improve their image? It gives me a detailed response. Then I click the pencil button to reset the conversation and click on Write a follow-up email. It writes an amazing email that thanks the audience and summarizes my speech. It also adds a PS. Haha. The Create the Next Meeting agenda works well too, because it frames it as a progress review of all the actionable items that I had discussed. List Q&A again gives me the main points. Needless to say, I was really happy with these features. There's a lot of other features, like we can download or export our transcript, we can post on Slack or summarize. So I'm going to summarize right now. There's key points, action items. Let's see what we get. Okay, those key points seem to make sense. And then, we can generate an outline. Unfortunately, Krisp did not give us any action items, which was interesting because the chat seemed to think that there were some action items. But the outline does look nice. I tried to listen to the audio recording to see if it removed the background noise. Since this is a screen recording only, you can't hear it. But I realized I made a big boo-boo. I could barely hear the sound because Krisp was processing the sound coming from my fancy microphone and not my webcam. Now, my fancy microphone was on the floor, so the sound was barely audible. Even though I couldn't hear it, the AI did such a great job with transcription. There is no option, as far as I know, to switch the underlying microphone, but I really wanted to test Krisp's noise cancellation capabilities. So I disconnected my fancy microphone, which anyway is really powerful, and instead used my webcam microphone, which is obviously not as good, to see if it cancels the background noise. The results were astonishing. This is without Krisp AI.
I'm just trying to see if it picks up this tapping noise and this banging noise.
This is with Krisp AI.
I'm just trying to see if it picks up this tapping noise or this banging noise.
So now I want to test Otter AI. A lot of commentators online felt that Otter AI was better than Krisp AI when it comes to transcription. This is again, by the way, the recording where my fancy microphone was on the floor. And the transcription results do feel better. For one, my name is spelled correctly. The summary, action items, outline are all interesting. It was nice to see that Otter AI could come up with action items. Then again, here the AI chat is there with some suggested question. What's weird with this question of strategic alliances is that the AI is making up stuff here. I never specified in my speech how exactly cats and dogs should collaborate. They're cool suggestions, no doubt, but not necessarily things I had mentioned in my speech. Interestingly enough, for the questions that I then asked, it never hallucinated again. That's exactly how you can become more productive in your upcoming meetings. Thanks. See you next time. As a side note, for recording of this video, I did use Krisp AI with my fancy microphone, and the results are much better, I think.